So let's get this story started. Do you guys want a recap of what happened?
Nah.
Already got chewed out for bringing a Meg Dragon into Boz, and now we gotta register it under their airwaves. Okay, we're done. We're done. There's your recap.
For those watching, you just watched the last episode.
Nice.
Yep. So, Soundwave, do you want to go through the RP of drafting the contract, or do you want to skip ahead?
Skip ahead. Like, I may say that, oh, I'm a rule lawyer. No, I'm not a contract lawyer. I'm not a voice of reason.
So, to Trellis we go. I was thinking the Batman spinning
No.
thing.
Oh, jeez.
No. That song reminds me of We're Off to See the Wizard. No. That song can get stuck in your head.
He is
And
a
as I
wizard,
said
so he's not
earlier,
far.
As I said earlier in season 1, we're a bunch of nerds. We've established this. We know this. Let's carry on.
Carry
Down with
on
it.
my wayward son. I'm sorry.
I think Cat's just trying to load it up while trolling us a bit. It's making me smile.
Okay, moving on.
Moving on. And I get to play with this little thing.
And I gotta move out from 90 to about 50.
Yep. So Nephra, you finish signing the contract, and you go up to the second floor with Biggs, and she's going, girl, do you really need me up here? 'Cause to be honest, I could use a little bit more of a rest from pretty much flying overnight.
If you want to come along, you can. I'm not going to force you. You can go back to the keep and catch some more rest. I completely understand.
Thanks, and well, someone's gotta make sure Peridot doesn't drink all your drinks. But
Yes, please go back to the keep and make sure of that, please.
yeah, before I do, how's your toy working out for you?
I use it sparingly, but it's working pretty fine. I just need to practice my aim a little bit more.
Mm.
And I am running a little bit low when it comes down to the ammo. But like I said, I'm trying to use it sparingly.
That's what I thought, which is why I brought this with me. And she hands you a bag of ammo, of 15 ammo.
15?
15.
1-5, gotcha. So I just need to find the ammo on my character sheet. Did I run out? Nope. Okay. So change that 24, well, 2.4 into a 3.9. Okay.
I'll meet you back at your keep.
Thank you. You catch some rest.
Will do. And you see
And-
her walk downstairs.
And if right, we'll start going to Trellis.
Yep, where you see a bunch of your friends in the room. Pretty much explaining mostly what's been happening.
And that's pretty much all that happened. Well, up until the shift, which I think will be fun to tell you that. When, speak of the devil, that's right here.
To fight.
Hello. What did I miss?
We were just catching them up. We were at the part where we got on the ship.
Oh, hang on, wait, which one?
On the way there.
Yeah, that you made a contract with pirates and an assassin?
Correction, my good man. And if I'm going to willingly call this bam, 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 if my computer will work me, bam, and bam, made the contract. We, and she puts a thumb between her and Elise, were not in the vicinity to make that contract, so we couldn't put out any further caveats or make a bigger arrangement for us.
How could I even make the contract?
You were there with us, remember?
True, but I could not sign it.
Yeah. Continuing on, though, do you want to tell him what happened on the ship, or do you want to surprise him?
I say you tell him because you're the one that found out that information.
Okay. When we got on the ship, I had a few theories on what he could be. I'll tell you later. Let's just say I got dragged overboard after Elise cast water breathing on all of us, which, again, thank you for. And we ended up finding out that a certain little buddy of ours was actually divinity. He then summons Avalon's weapon form, and that this is the artifact of theirs.
Wow. That is quite the find. I mean,
Oh, and before you ask, after finding it out, he was forcibly transformed into a Leviathan, which I, thankfully, with the help of said assassin, calmed down.
I'm sorry, a Leviathan? And
Mm-hmm.
you guys survived that.
I should rephrase that.
Yep.
These ones, he points to Nephrite, wanted to run, yet I was not letting them run no matter how hard they wanted to try, especially with it being him.
It was a bloody Leviathan. Friendly or not, those things are killers.
Yeah, but how often do you actually see him?
It is a feat to see one and survive. It is a death wish if you see one, period.
Continuing on, though, got to the island, and we found out one more ally of the Order after dealing with the child, as well as getting the most recent artifact.
Which one?
Wait, Quadrant, don't you have it, or does Nephrite have it?
Should be in the bag of holding.
Yep, you guys would remember that during the battle with Ophelia, Cortana stuffed it in Nephrite's bag to keep it safe.
Oh, out of character, I remember that. I just wanted to build the scene a bit, sorry. So.
Okay, well, in character, I have it after all the mayhem that was happening in the battle, thanks to Cortana. But I also gave her my bag, so that way, by the time everybody got up here, she can hand it over to Trillis.
Mm-hmm. You sure you want me to give it back to him?
If you don't want to, I can give it back to him. I believe her alignment was mine.
What's your alignment?
Pulling up her character sheet, chaotic good. But after all the events that's been happening, she's more chaotic neutral, leaning into chaotic good.
I mean, you can pick it up if you like.
Everybody okay with me testing that theory?
I imagine so long as none of us are evil, the artifacts won't reject us.
Then let's test the theory. Let's see if Chanti was chaotic good.
Remember that? Remember that artifact we found with the incubus?
Incubi, because plural.
But
continuing
again,
on, though,
I was.
continuing on though, Nephrite picks it up.
Yeah, you pick it up and you feel the sparks around your hand, though it is not harmful enough for you to let go of it, but it is a little uncomfortable to hold.
It works for a little bit, but it's starting to get uncomfortable. Can we please put this inside now?
Do you mind if I try to handle it?
You might have a better chance of holding this.
Alright, I'll try.
What's your alignment?
Neutral good.
You hold it with no problems.
Oh. Alright.
Okay. So it didn't hurt as much for me because I still was in the spectrum of good, but it was uncomfortable for me because of the chaotic spectrum. Okay.
Yeah. And Charles should be obvious when I say this, but you are not getting rid of this, as he's still holding Avalon from me.
Yeah, I can understand that. You're one of the few people I've met that could actually wield a god's artifact so fluently.
My fear after finding out, though, was that could the king also be doing what I do as well?
It's possible, though I honestly can't see why that artifact will work well for him, considering all that he's done as of late.
True.
Good point.
But let's get these put away.
Yeah. So, are you all gonna go in?
Yeah, I am.
I might stay outside because I don't think all of us need to go in just for one artifact.
Yeah, I'll stick around outside too.
You have it!
Oh, duh, stupid. Of course.
Yeah, we're gonna put the artifact without bringing the person carrying the artifact. Makes so much
Sorry,
sense.
my bad.
You're fine.
I was about to say.
You're fine. Avenger can stay with Nefred and Zuri,
And
so that way Null doesn't have to worry about them.
and
Yep.
yeah, I'm not gonna say anything, so.
Cortana is looking around going, so what's going on here?
What do you mean what's going on here?
I've never seen this bit before.
Oh, of us splitting. Well, I'm staying behind because I don't believe all of us need to go in for just one artifact because, like I said, he's not getting rid of that.
That's not what I'm asking. Like, where is he going? In case any of
Why? I don't.
yeah.
It just dawned on me she was asleep throughout the whole thing.
Oh right.
Yeah, she's never seen it.
The player then mind blanked.
Yeah.
But to keep you in the loop, Cortana, Travis has made a bit of a safe for all of the artifacts that we gathered.
I see. I'm still thinking of staying out here. Just in case.
Leash, Volnir, you want to go in or do you want to stay out here?
I'm fine.
Alish?
Typey type.
Claudia then goes to this wall and sits.
Alish said, I'll stay here.
And Cortana plays a bit with the lizard as the three of you go with the magic circle.
It's been a while since we've been in this place.
Yeah, since we were last here. So let's get the major artifact where it should be.
We should.
Out of curiosity, how many artifacts do you think are actually in the world?
There's at least one artifact for every god. So, depending
That
on...
begs the question, how many gods are there?
I've heard from deities because there's both gods and goddesses, so. So which pedestal specifically for the crown there?
I
Yeah.
think he's moved over.
Nothing, just give me a moment to put the crown on the place.
Okay, so we just need the glove and the other glove and
Mistra's
what's the
artifact.
other major one?
Mistra's artifact.
But we don't really
What
know
do you
where it is.
suppose- Moather, what do you suppose it could be?
The best person to ask would be Cortana.
Well, and we already, well, we don't really know where exactly we're gonna find it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure it's a good idea to ask her?
Well, Cortana is a cleric of Mistra.
But that's the thing that's confusing me about this, to be quite frank. If she is a cleric of Mistra, she would have easy connection to her. And yet, for all the time she's been here, from what I could see, it seems Mistra has not once reached out to her, or there was no clear connection like they would with any cleric.
There's... Noel, do you mind if I explain what my guess so far is, as well as from information I've picked up from being around you guys?
Sure.
Based off of my own personal interpretation, the times we as a party have interacted with Mistra's avatar, as I'm gonna call it, is
Yep,
the
sorry.
only times that... No problem.
You're fine. I still love seeing the crown, though. It's so pretty.
Yeah. It
Same.
seems that due to the events of what's going on is what's causing the deities to have trouble reaching out to their clerics and or paladin. That is my current interpretation of the event so far, though.
Ooh, conflict.
And
Book.
yeah, we have clerics clearly speaking to help. I know Vistra is a mystery unto itself, but you think her chosen would have clearer connection.
Every time we talk to Mistra, she has tried to talk to us, but it almost just like it just came through in static.
She talks to you.
Well, she did appear to us some on occasion, but it seemed like what she was saying was broken.
Almost like a
How-
projection,
how-
somewhat.
How did she talk to you?
Uh,
The
well,
best
not
way to describe what happens is, and correct me if I'm wrong now, a ghostly apparition appears over Cortana's sleeping form.
that's just about it, and sometimes I don't know how to describe it. Some sort of force around emanating from
Overwhelming
her.
pressure.
Yes, it almost paralyzing us.
So she talks to you, and yet she doesn't talk to Cortana.
To our knowledge, she could try to keep those conversations private. That's something she does not need to constantly share with us, though. Just like if you had a private conversation, would you be telling every person you know about a private conversation?
No. In fact, there's some conversations meant between us that I just keep to us. I don't tell Aiko or even Her Majesty. Because that's
Fair
something
enough.
they don't need to worry about.
Mhm. Speaking of Icall, please tell me you at least remember what his face was like when the Black Claw delegates showed up. And Ogman has just like a joking smirk to try to alleviate the mood.
I'm guessing he was shocked.
More than that, you have never seen an elf go paler in your life.
I'm,
He was always such a stiff.
I'm guessing you were happy to see his pale face when that happened.
Yes. Oh, I'm gonna remember that for ages.
I'm guessing that a lot of our job's done here after depositing that, because still holding the Avalon's Glaive form, because we know this ain't being stand here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, head back?
Yep.
You two head back. I have a question for Trellis.
Okay.
Okay.
Before I do go, Ogman, I do want to ask you something.
Okay.
If ever the glaive is if ever the glaive is in actual danger and you're not able to protect it, can you please put it in here so it doesn't get stolen if that ever does happen?
I have a plan for if something like that should happen in mind already.
Okay.
So what do you want to ask me about?
Just a personal theory, but every time we collect a new artifact and bring it here, the members of the Order become stronger and more powerful. And Ogman is now giving a little bit of a glare to Trellis.
Is that your working theory, or?
Bit of a working theory, as well as them somehow having inside information.
You think there could be a spy amongst us?
Yes, but part of that information was spoken privately with you. You can see where my suspicions are currently led, though, because of that.
Maybe. In retrospect, what exactly is your theory?
That I'm currently speaking to the traitor.
Why would I betray you? I've done nothing but help you guys.
Because again, information that was privately informed of to you privately was given to them somehow. The only means I can think of besides that were scrying, but that is something that is still very difficult. Add to it that I also think the war between Boss and Celius is also another done by the Order from someone that could cause misinformation amongst the two leaders.
Look, I don't know what's going on with Celius, but they're the ones who started the battle, not the people of Bass. It could be influence of the Order, I do not know. What I do know is what my queen ordered me to do. Help you the best I can, and that's what I've been doing since day one. You can run every investigation spell on me if you feel more comfortable, but I assure you that I am here for you. All of you. And how this order could have gotten something from me, I don't know. I don't know everything in this world. What the order
And that
does.
I know.
What?
I said I know you don't know everything.
Then why this intimidation?
Not trying to intimidate you, I'm just sharing my suspicions with someone that I actually do trust. So it's a case of, am I trusting the traitor? Because that's where my mind has been leading me without much else thought. But another thing as well, though, is that there's so many... Like, my biggest possibility right now is how the Order caused it is kill the Queen of Celius, frame Boss somehow whilst within Boss. Not Boss, sorry, Celius. And yet keep the communication off-grid from the King and Queen from contacting each other to be like and clearing up this miscommunication issue.
That could be possible.
There are so many different possibilities though, but I'm at least sharing them with you because I know that between you and I call who do I trust more should be obvious. And he gives a smirk to Trellis right now.
I don't know if that is comforting or not, given the circumstances you just put me into.
Again, they can influence your dreams, so could have possibly gotten the information from your sleeping self somehow. That's completely unknown.
They can do that?
Yeah, we were visited by the Green Knight in the Dream Realm one night.
Oh boy. So in other words, they could have been in my head without me knowing.
Bingo.
What kind of enemy are we facing here?
You forget we're facing an enemy that is a cult that's worshipping a deity, so... Yeah.
Can we just head back? I feel more comfortable in my little lab.
I was about to ask if you wanted to head back too, so let's head back. So Agme's going to head back with Trellis.
Yep. And
so now we can... Yeah. Cut to the other party!
Wait, out of character, quick question. What about the other relic? We didn't put it anywhere.
The other relic is Ogman's glaive.
I'm sorry to
Oh,
say
wait,
this
yep,
and sound harsh
no.
about this, Selector, but did you not pay attention?
Sorry, my bad.
Yep. So all of you head back, but everyone else is either talking, resting, or playing. And you guys poof back in with a pretty shook up Trellis.
Is everything okay? Is everything okay, Trellis?
Oh,
I just shared a few of my personal thoughts with him, as well as a bit more information.
what kind of information?
And what kind of thoughts?
Information of a certain someone visiting us in our dreams.
Okay, that covers information. What about thoughts?
Thoughts like I could be spilling information to the enemy.
I would like to ask on what grounds and what merits those thoughts would have. But knowing you, you have something up your sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're wrong, what then? Every theory has a right or if a wrong route. If you're right, then by all means, the queen could, and sorry, Trellis, the queen could have Trellis banished out of her court as well as out of Boss. If you're wrong, what then?
I'm afraid you've already made a mistake. I said, Charles did say that sharing the information to the enemy. I never said if it was willing or unwilling. Because don't forget, if they can visit us in our dreams, who's to say they can't get information from our sleeping selves? They've had access to information some of us have shared with Trellis private, probably.
Remember that we have contacts in the dream world that others might not have access to, or would have less protection.
Mm-hmm.
It's, if I recall, first time I encountered, first time I had a dream, I was told that our marks are what allow us to be invited into the dream world.
Mm-hmm.
They're what allow us to be in there, and somewhat aware of our environment. Our ally makes it to where we can actually interact with the environment.
Mm-hmm. As well as one, but at least there was one other theory I had that's a lot more terrifying. What if the Order started this whole Celius boss war?
Possible, but I think that the king's behavior is such that it would take very little manipulation by the order to cause him to cause the war. I think they're simply taking advantage of his normal behavior more than they are deliberately manipulating a war. I'm sure it is beneficial to them that this war is happening, at least to some degree. And the fact that it's an obvious distraction away from what they're doing. Remember that most of them prefer to work from the shadows.
And how best to work from the shadows as someone that can carry information. Being a simple postman, not a lot of people would pay attention. as a quick random example, because what if the Queen of Boss was trying to mitigate the information? Well, not mitigate, but mediate the possibility of Boss being blamed.
I'm sure
I would
she's
say-
doing everything to diffuse the situation, but I'd really, without seriously very strong evidence, I'd really like to not suspect the Queen of any misdoing.
I'm not suspecting her, I'm suspecting the order of keeping any attempts to contact the king of Celius.
With that being said, gentlemen, I would like to further discuss this information outside of the building, verbally back at our keep, instead of spilling more information and getting Trellis more stressed, as well as more worried. And again, I'm sorry, Trellis, for us divulging all of this in front of you.
I also have some things I'd like to discuss with Lois.
Sure, by all means.
Would you rather this be in private, or do you mind any of us being here?
I don't mind you being here, but if you guys want to head back to the keep and discuss this particular issue in length, you should probably head back. So.
I don't mind staying out.
So we have about a month to prepare ourselves for the next step. I would like to utilize the equipment and resources that are here to make some items to benefit the group. I am willing to exchange my own work and time making items for either yourself, Trellis, or the Queen, if she hasn't request. The only thing that supplied would be materials with which to make the item, and I would supply the time and effort to make the items.
I generally have no problem with that, I think, but why not ask the person who is the maker in your group, the crafter?
These particular items, and he looks to Nephrite, like, while she is able to make a wide range of items, the items that I can make would not be something that she could do for me.
I see.
What?
Well, go ahead, Nephrite.
I'm gonna let you go first. But what in particular are you trying to make? Maybe even if I don't know how to make it, I could try to find some books that can help out, or I can just help out a little bit with some knowledge of tinkering.
So I would like to make an item that will disguise an individual as being something that they are not, primarily for our dwarven friend to be able to pass himself off as preferably human when trying to enter into Celius, as long as he is fine with using particular kinds of item.
So you mean something with an element of the spells shapeshift or alter self?
Alter self.
Or actually, let me rephrase. There are 3 spells that you're thinking of: Alter Self, Polymorph, and Shapeshift. So you're trying to go for something as Alter Self?
Yes, Ultra Self is the one I'm aiming for.
When you have the spell Disguise Self, which can last for only a short amount of time. Alter Self means you can alter your entire body to whatever race, height, or form you desire, just without any extra extremities.
It also has a normal time limit. The item would be able to extend duration for up to 8 hours. I'm not sure how long it would take to make that item. The other item that I am considering making is one that hopefully can be used more than one time per day, or more than once in a day. Would turn the person that was using it invisible for up to an hour. This particular item would be something that I would want to give to Quinn for when he has the problem with not being able to blend in with the people around him.
You do know if you give that item to Quinn, he's going to do one of 2 things with that. Either A, use it so much where he's going to try and pull a prank on somebody, or B, he's going to leave it around somewhere and forget to use it. I.e., hey Gwen, when was the last time you used that Moontouch rapier I gave you?
I have. It's been a little bit, but I was just testing out the new sword I got. That doesn't mean I don't use it.
Case and point.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry.
You're really not. You have so many weapons. Yet you always resort to your Tailor Dagger. You have so many weapons that you can use.
You're not going to be.
You're the most amiable of all of us.
Yeah, and you're not going to be able to access your tail while you're in Sullius. You're going to have to be able to maintain a human appearance and form the entire time that you're there. You cannot let it drop even a moment. Except when you are with us or totally alone and sleeping.
But also, if he's alone sleeping, he sleeps outside most of the time. Ergo, if somebody's outside and they notice him, boom, there goes our cover.
That's something he's going to have to stop doing. And I am serious about that. You are going to have to stop sleeping outside. There are too many risks and too many ways that somebody could kidnap you in the middle of the night and nobody would know until morning.
We've already been down that route before. We don't need to go in again.
Yeah, I'd like to not have a repeat of that particular event.
That was the one and only time, Ogman, the one and only time he has slept inside. Every other time we go out somewhere, he sleeps outside. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Elise, and you do bring up many wonderful ideas. But the idea, whenever it comes down to Quinn, have more holes than they need to in order for the plan to work.
I'm not sure what else to do. I mean, do I just give him another item that does the same thing that it does for Halnir?
No, you're fine. You're fine. The ideas that you have, again, they are perfectly fine. However, the holes don't come from you, they come from Quinn, because we all know him and how he functions.
I am willing to try to trust Quinn to start behaving like an adult. I'm not going to treat you like a child, Quinn. I'm going to treat you like a young adult. So that does mean that you're going to have to step up and show a willingness to take responsibility and do things that you know are going to be helpful for the group on your own initiative. But I need to know what I am making for what members of the party, because without that knowledge, I have to go with what I have planned.
And selector's muted. Okay. As for me, I know one thing I need, and that is to become harder to hit. That is something I know I need desperately.
I will also have to make an item for you, Ogman, that is similar to that of Only. That you can also maintain an appearance as human in Sullius for when we try to actually get into the city.
No, I will agree with you on that, because, well, I'm not exactly fully humanoid.
You have a tendency to stand out in a crowd.
Well, all those would be great ideas for inside. It's the gates that's going to be a bit concerned. Because their security makes ours look like child's play.
I'm gonna guess the spell, like anti-magic field, is surrounding the gate.
Detect magic, anti-magic, truth seeing, you name it.
Well,
In other words,
there's always a weak spot. We have to find out where it is before we make the attempt to get in.
Only location I can think of that'd be possibly a weak spot would be their, if they even have any, a sewer system of some kind.
Or how about the air? Cortana perks up.
That is a possibility. However, I would rather not have the chance of that particular device.
Possibly falling into their hands.
No. I'm not talking about the mechanical dragon. Cortana actually looks at Zuri. Why don't we all become Zuri?
Huh?
Oh! that might... That has some merit. In other words, she means what if we all polymorph into owls?
Yeah. So the question would be is how common are owls around Sullius, or what other bird is normally common around there?
I could have Violet look into that.
Okay.
I'm sure there are tons of birds that have flown by, but the specific ones that land in Celius, we can try to look that up.
That would honestly be perfect.
But for now, I say we get a lot more done at the keep. For now. But let
Exactly.
Elish stick around here for whatever he may or may not need.